Oh yeah, Investigation Wednesday. What I get into? How y'all doing out there this morning? It's Emos the Witness, and we're back for Investigation Wednesday. As you know, this is the Phil Show, standing for what the fuck I look like, and we're here live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like I told you, from 10 to 11 a.m., we're bringing you hot new political perspective. We're pushing back against leadership. We're pushing back against corporate America, holding people accountable. The news that we get on a daily basis is incredible. You know, we've been lied to for so long and so many election deceptions that it's time to come out here and bring a new voice to the diaspora, bring a new to the conversation. So we're here every live. You know, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Hit that subscribe button, like. And we're gonna get into the news from my man Malik and my man White downtown at 120 East Market Street. Come down here and get you a show, y'all. Leading your voice, leading your opinion. So let's get into it, Malik. Let's get some background music. Let's get into the news, as we do. And today, like I said, this is Investigation Wednesday. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on, and there's conflicts brewing up. There's there's particular parties gearing up for the elections and coming up in 2022 and 2024. And what you're going to see is a continuance of the same thing. You're seeing investigations pop up. You're seeing a continuance of investigations, and you think that they're new and they're brand new, but they're not. They're a continuance of investigations that are just unnecessary, very deceptive, and it's geared to kind of get that jogging position for the upcoming election, for upcoming campaigns, and getting that battle of the wits and battle of the conversation and the narrative in the news. So as you probably heard this morning, we have a investigation turning criminal in the New York criminal inquiry into Trump's tax records, and we're gonna get into that. Like I said, it's Investigation Wednesday, so we're gonna follow up and go into the Mueller investigation and Crossfire Hurricane. And this all ties into it because, like I said, we're going to go back in time and investigate what really happened and, do like a review. I think it's necessary. Like I said, our rights, our constitutional values have been stamped on. Our right to free speech, right to bear arms is always under attack. Our right to vote, our voter integrity, right to protest. All these things are kind of, being under assault, in one form or fashion. Big tech and the censorship. And where does that leave you? So, in this Investigation Wednesday, I want to show the hypocrisy. I want to show the timeline, why this criminal probe why this civil matter is now a criminal probe in this Trump investigation on his taxes, and where it all began, where it all transpired. And, believe it or not, it transpired with Stormy Daniels. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it came back to story legit. And let's see where it began. And you'll see the pattern. You see the relentlessness attack on this president, a former president, and the reason why is because of his influence in this country and in his party, and the danger that it holds Democrats in upcoming elections. So let's dig into that a little bit. That's actually pretty much the legitimacy of what I want to talk about, majority of what I want to talk about today. So let's start with this video that kind of hammers his point home. It kind of starts off the issue regarding this criminal matter.
In another escalation of Donald Trump's legal woes, New York State's investigation into the former U.S. president's company has now become a criminal probe. The New York Attorney General's office said it opened the investigation on Tuesday, now going beyond what began as a civil case. Attorney General Letitia James has been looking into whether the Trump Organization falsely reported property values to secure better loans and to gain economic and tax benefits. In a statement, a spokesman for James's office said, quote, "We have informed the Trump Organization that our investigation into the organization is no longer purely civil in nature." The spokesman added they would be working alongside the Manhattan District Attorney. Manhattan DA Cyrus Vance has been investigating Trump for more than 2 years for possible tax and insurance fraud in dealings before Trump became president. The Trump Organization could not immediately be reached for comment, though Trump has said that the investigation is politically motivated, overseen by Democrats. The case becomes the third known criminal investigation against the former Republican president.
Yeah, so you heard a couple big names and some notable names that you probably don't really hear on a daily basis. And like I said, at the Amos Witness Show, we want to expose some new names. You hear the same political names or same political leaders in the news, and obviously we can't shake them. They seem to get away. They appear to get away with everything. But you need to know about the Letitia Jameses. Letitia James. You need to learn about that kind of individual, who that person is. Cyrus Vance Jr. As you noticed in the video, it said that he's been investigating Trump for 2 years for allegations or tax issues that have been dating back since before the election. So this has been a continuous political witch hunt. SDNY, Southern District of New York, New York City as a whole has been on this guy since before he was even president. He's been in tabloids. That's why I call him Teflon Don. Let me get some of that background music, man. That's cool. That's why I call him Teflon Don. That's why it kind of just makes you wonder, like, are these prosecutors really is this really a trumped up lawsuit? Are these really trumped up charges? And so if I go back into the history of this, I have this article here from the New York Times that's from 2019. 8 years of Trump's tax returns are subpoenaed by the Manhattan DA. This is when this all started. This is back in 2019. Now, if you notice, a lot of things that happened around this time, a lot of things came to an end. The Mueller report was released. At the time, William Barr had some redacted analysis on it, and it got criticized. But effectively, the Mueller report led to no charges or no criminal intent from the Trump team. There was no meddling in the investigation with the Russians. And right after that, you see these charges coming about from the Southern District of New York on Stormy Daniels, on taxes, whether he gave hush money. So let's get into this article and let's kind of find out who some of these characters are, the Cyrus Vances and the Letitia Jameses, where they came about. So state prosecutors in Manhattan this is from 2019. This is where this all began. State prosecutors in Manhattan have subpoenaed President Trump's accounting firm to demand 8 years of his personal and corporate tax returns, according to several people with knowledge of the matter. The subpoena opens up a new front in a wide-ranging effort to obtain copies of President Trump's tax returns, which Mr. Trump initially would make public during the 2016 campaign and has since refused to disclose. Now, at the time, he was saying that he was under audit, so that's why he didn't release most of his returns, but he released what he could. And then every time they did get a little piece of his tax returns, there was nothing there. If you remember, they got these returns like a couple years ago, not too long ago. I mean, about at least a year ago, and we heard not a peep. So they've been scouring and been trying to find anything, been picking everything apart. This has been the most investigated president, in history. Like I said, the guy doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do anything, but just run policy and claims he loves America. Strong leader. What's wrong with that? But like I said, they keep on trying to take this man down, keep trying to destroy his image because of the influence that he has and the power that he is swaying and cleaning up his party and getting ready for the upcoming elections. So it's a constant battle what you're seeing, jockeying for position for that narrative. So they're honestly constantly trying to bring him down. And now this tax thing is now a criminal matter. So we'll find out why and at what point and where does the criminal intent lie. So the subpoena was issued by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office late last month, soon after they opened a criminal investigation into the role that the president and his family business played in hush money payments made in the run-up to the election. Now, in this video we just showed you, they didn't bring none of that up. They kind of just said, because of allegations and charges dating back before the election. They don't want to bring up the name Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels if they don't have to, because they know that the American people are like, why the hell are you guys bringing this back up again, rehashing this again? This is salacious tabloid nonsense. This is the top news of the morning. This morning, you go to a lot of the headlines in Yahoo. This is the topic. It's now a criminal inquiry. But this is old. This is old news, and I'm going to show you how it came about. Both Mr. Trump and his company reimbursed Michael Cohen, the president's former lawyer and fixer, for money Mr. Cohen paid to buy the silence of Stormy Daniels, a pornographic film actress who said she had an affair with Mr. Trump. The president has denied the affair. Now, do you remember how, this Stormy Daniels topic, Michael Avenatti, the whole spill, was just the biggest topic, for half the presidency. It was in your face, constantly Stormy Daniels trying to bring this guy down based on, a former porn star. And you just saw the nastiness of America. You saw the grittiness, the greed, the lawyer's filth that surrounds Washington and surrounds our media. We saw this slum lawyer, crash and burn. We saw him at his highest and we saw him at his lowest, which is where he currently is. And you saw media, and you see these lawyers in New York, just attack, and form these lawsuits and these charges. But it's all about keeping that narrative in the media, in the public eye. So when it comes down to election time, you remember, oh, this president is messes with porn stars. That's all. As long as that stays in the media, and if you get some charges off of it, somehow you can swivel it or sway it towards taxes, then you may have something. And that's what they're doing right now. And it's a bunch of nonsense. Like I said, it's you know that this Stormy Daniels topic has been so saturated that you actually believe that he actually really had an affair with her. It doesn't matter that that last line says the president has denied the affair. From my standpoint, from how I witnessed it, it was not, well, maybe not apparent, but it's apparent that, as someone who's running for office, you want to keep something like that quiet. Not even the fact that maybe he did not have an affair, but the fact that it's a topic that you have to discuss it. So I'd rather pay you hush money, not even bring up the idea that it may have happened. Because now there's a picture out here of me next to you, and people are going to assume, and I'm running for office. So a lot of celebrities, do these NDAs for these when they have these moments when you run into people. So like I said, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's Teflon Don, and everything they've thrown at him has not stuck. He gets bring the charges. He's a New York fighter. So I know he's not stupid enough or he's slick enough not to get caught up by something like a Stormy Daniels. And he didn't, and he hasn't. And, after his presidency has been over, the New York DA office is still trying to charge this president. And it all started right after the Mueller report. And I'll bring that up going forward. Let's continue. Mr. Cyrus Vance as well. So, it was unclear if the broad scope of the subpoena indicated that the office has expanded its investigation beyond actions taken during the 2016 campaign. A spokesman for the Manhattan District Attorney, Cyrus Vance, declined to comment. The state prosecutors are seeking a range of tax documents from the accounting firm Mazars USA, including Mr. Trump's personal returns and those of his business, the Trump Organization. The subpoena seeks federal and state returns for both the president's company dating back to 2011. The investigation by Mr. Vance has been focused on $130,000 that Mr. Cohen paid Mrs. Daniels, whose legal name is Stephanie Clifford, just before the election. Mrs. Cohen pleaded guilty last year to breaking federal campaign finance laws and receiving a 3-year prison sentence. So where is Mr. Cohen's credibility? This man that just finished serving a 3-year prison sentence, a taxi, I don't know, they call him a taxi medallion driver, I don't know, taxi driver kingpin, I don't know, but this dude is slimy. He'll turn at a drop of a dime, just give him some money, and he's on your side. This was quote unquote President Trump's personal fixer before he was president. I don't even know what that. That title is itself designed to make you think some kind of criminal intent. But the fact of the matter, he was a lawyer that was paid to make sure, he protected the president's back, covered him from any kind of issues that were perceived to be dirty. Because you have people coming at you all the time when you're in that kind of position of power. So you have to, like I said, New York is a dirty game. Don't get it too, I told you, politics is a dirty game. So you got to do several things to keep yourself protected. And that's all this guy, Mr. President Trump, was doing as he was trying to mold himself and guide himself into the White House. So you have people do your dirty work, if you want to call it dirty work, but really it's more a defensive tactic. And then, at the time, as you run for office, you gain power, people of influence come around. And people, you have turncoats. You have snakes in your circle. And Mr. Cohen is one of the biggest snakes he ever had. Okay? And we'll do an investigation report on him one day. But he's really a slime, and he really is not worth it. But, for the sake of content, we may have to do an investigation report on Michael Cohen and his background. But anyway, so he paid Ms. Daniels $130,000 of hush money to keep their affair, quote unquote, or their relationship, or their interaction, or their interaction quiet. Anyway, while federal prosecutors who charged Mr. Cohen stated that the court filing in July that they had effectively concluded their inquiry into possible crimes committed by the company or its executives, Mr. Vance's office is exploring whether the reimbursements violate any New York state laws. Okay, so federal prosecutors already squashed this. But no, we got to keep it going. So, I mean, the deep state or powers that be took a double hit in 2019. A double hit, you know? You had the Mueller report come out, and the Mueller report just squashed, you know, there was no kind of, you know, collusion with Russia. They couldn't find anything. It made them look stupid. $20 million wasted in a frivolous investigation that was just really created to distract you. You know, hide the fact that hide their criminal intent, their criminal misdeeds. That whole report was just a bunch of nonsense, and that's why there's currently an investigation reviewing the investigators, and I'm gonna keep you posted on that. The Durham report, which is also a criminal inquiry, a criminal review. Hope some charges come about from that. But Michael Cohen, he has no credibility. The federal prosecutors already squashed this. So you had the Mueller report in 2019, and you had the federal prosecutors squash this report or this charge. But what happens? Mr. Vance's office is now exploring whether the reimbursements affected state and New York state laws. That was back in 2019. So now we fast forward. We got Mr. Vance here. I just showed you that video, and Miss Letitia James, New York prosecutor. Let's go to her background real quick. Okay. Letitia Ann James, American lawyer, activist, and politician. She's a member of the Democratic Party and a current Attorney General of New York. Having won the 2018 election to succeed appointed Attorney General Barbara Underwood. She is the first African American and the first woman to be elected to the position. Now, I'm gonna tell you straight up, and I think I said it before. I don't mind any gender being in power, leadership. My opinion is whoever's best for the job. You know a leader when you see it. You know a leader when you see it in their speech, in their actions, and how they direct people, how they carry themselves. And a lot of times you see leaders on TV, you see these politicians on TV, and you see their character, you see the tone of their voice. And you're like, yeah, they're vindictive. They're condescending. You can tell they're probably behind the scenes just berating their staff. And everything, every now and again, that leaks out. And I meant to show y'all, there's been reports about Joe Biden being kind of spiry and being kind of a tyrant in the back office of the White House. I got to find that video. But at any rate, you know, I don't mind any leader or any gender leading. I just don't want the emotion to be involved in it, the payback, the retribution. That's where that tyrant dictator shit comes from, the arrogance. And I'm trying. Hey, call in, talk shit if you want to. But I see a lot of that in women in general, that passive aggressiveness. Can you imagine that mixed with politicians and lawyers? They're still attacking this guy. It happens in all genders, but I see it a lot in females. I'm sorry, I see a lot of women. I know that's controversial here with the Emos to Witness show. If you got a problem out there, hit that like, subscribe button. Hit me on the chat. I'm here live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I ain't hiding. I'm just trying to get better. So I'm going to bring you the topics. I'm going to bring you what I'm going to tell you how I feel. So it just seems like Miss Letitia James is on that tilt. She's out there, hey, I'm going to get this guy one way or the other. Come hell or high water, I'm going to get this guy. And I'm going to be the queen of this state. I'm going to be the queen of New York. Fuck the king of New York. I'm going to be the queen. Can Teflon Don escape that? Can the king of New York beat the queen of New York? Maybe. He's beaten everything else thus far. But Miss Letitia James, if you come down here further, when I was reading, she was born in Brooklyn. She got her degree from Howard University in Washington. She graduated from Lehman College in the Bronx. Public defender, New York State Assembly, Assistant Attorney General. But coming down here in her career, skipping through all the city council races and all that, she's notable. And what she came about was her investigation into the nursing homes at the COVID-19 response and how New York handled that. I don't think, man, let me think about it. I mean, didn't Cuomo get away with this shit? He got away with that. And he's kind of got away with the sexual harassment charges. We haven't heard shit about that since Biden came into power. And those are some very keen, some very serious charges. That's some criminal shit. Now you imagine that. I mean, you imagine the ordinary American citizen. Like I told you, what the fuck I look like? The Phil Show, FILL. That's why this show was created. Now you think about this shit. You're sitting here, you're watching the news over a period of months, or even through the past 5 years, or the 4 years of watching the Trump presidency, and you're seeing this hypocrisy in action. You're seeing these movements and these hypocrisy in these press conferences. You're seeing things that are more serious in nature that need to be addressed in a real professional manner, in an integral manner that gives you the American people some confidence in their leadership. And you look up and you're like, oh, what the fuck up? Is that Cuomo? Ain't that the motherfucker that fucked up the nursing homes? Ain't that the same motherfucker with the sexual allegations? He's still governor? His picklehead brother still on CNN? That shit's, you know what I'm saying? So why are we tired? Aren't we tired of seeing that? And you're like, where are the lawsuits at? Where are the charges? What happened with that? And you look up, you're like, damn, they're still charging the former president over some stripper back in 2016 that he denies. They're still digging through his tax records for that shit. Why? It's never stopped. See what I'm saying? It started the Mueller report, which I told you the Mueller report was a distraction to hide the investigators, to cover the investigators of the Russia espionage campaign allegation that was frivolous, and to hide the fact that they were spying and the Obama administration was spying on the Trump campaign. And that's currently being reviewed by the Durham report, and we're going to hear about that if the Biden administration does not squash it. Like apparently Ms. Letitia James squashed the Cuomo investigations. You see what happens when a new administration comes into power? Shit gets swept under the rug for themselves, but yet they're still attacking the former president. If you notice, the former president played nothing but defense the last 4 years, and he still got a lot of shit done on his agenda. He still fought back like a New York politician fights back. And I think the American people see that. Definitely after the 2020 election, when their right to vote was attacked. You know what I mean? And when you seen one party staunchly defend the rule of law and the protocols and the election rules around the right to vote, you see what party was defending that continues to defend that, and one that stays quiet. You see what I'm saying? And it's so dangerous for you guys. It's so important that we get our voices out there and we speak about these things, because the administration that's currently in power, they're looking to change a lot of things. They're looking to change our laws into in this country into a society that is not what we intend to have. Like I said, socialism is not what we want. Capitalism is a system that needs repair, but it does not need to be tossed, in my opinion. We need to stop. We need to clean out the corruption that's involved with it, and and really implement the laws that are on the books. Right now we have a administration that's in turmoil. To me that's doing shit on purpose. Then when it comes to the border crisis, then when it comes to these stimulus packages and these spending packages that they want to throw out there. What are you trying to do to our economy? You trying to wreck it? Well, all the while they're trying to butter us up and keep on controlling the levers of power more forcefully while they can. And in the 2022 and 2024 midterm elections, people have to be more informed and get aware of who their leaders are and what their intentions are. I don't want to sway which way you should go with these things, but if you just come from the standpoint, I'm trying to protect the constitutional values that have been under assault for the past 4 or 5 years, then you identify, and it all will become clear to you. Okay. So like I said, Crossfire Hurricane. Let's dig into a little bit of that. I think we talked about that. Like I said, last Wednesday I wanted to talk about the Mueller report, Crossfire Hurricane, and where we are with the Durham report, and the Horowitz report analysis, kind of go through all these as a review, like a three-part, four-part series into the investigation regarding the 2016 campaign, Trump campaign espionage, the investigators, and where we are at that today. And like I said, this morning, when you see these headlines regarding the New York prosecutor, just know that this isn't new information. This is old news, and where it came about was from nonsense, salaciousness, no different than the Christopher Steele report, the Steele dossier. So let's get into Crossfire Hurricane again. So shout out to Letitia James and Cyrus Vance, just some long-time Democrat prosecutors who are just doing some politically motivated charges, and it's still going on today. We'll see how successful they are, but just know that's where it all steers from, and just know you're being manipulated this morning, thinking that's something that's really big. That is really it isn't. It's just salacious, scandalous nonsense dating back to a stripper in 2019. So, Crossfire Hurricane is a code name for the counterintelligence investigation undertaken by the FBI from July 31st, 2016 to May 17, 2017 into the links between the Russian officials and associates of Donald Trump and whether individuals associated with his presidential campaign were coordinating wittingly or unwittingly with the Russian efforts to interfere with the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Trump was not personally on the investigation until May 27th when he fired James Comey, another slug. But, what's interesting about, redacting history and going back into time and reviewing these things is that when you look at this stuff, they change the narrative, they change the wording, and it doesn't always match the climate at the time. Wittingly and unwittingly, colluded with Russia to, interfere in the election. That unwittingly part, you would think that unwittingly part, okay. How much of that was really like benefit of the doubt when you reported it back in 2016? There was hardly none of that. You would think these guys were staunch, just straight Russian czars, cousins of Putin, just got all the way deep into Trump. That there's no doubt about these guys colluded with Russia. When you get into the details of what happened, when you get into the details of, some of these charges and where they came from, a lot of it was frivolous. I mean, based on process charges. As a result of going through the investigation, if one of the suspects or whatever, one of the ones being prosecuted or being charged, or just a process was slipping up in their wording, it was a charge. But the charge didn't relate to the Russian investigation or Russian or active espionage or collusion. A lot of charges were older in nature, years back, but nothing that related to Russia. And these people served time or lost their homes or their family was assaulted. You look at Michael Flynn and Michael Flynn's son. You go back and look at everyone. Paul Manafort is sitting in a wheelchair right now in prison. And in the very beginning, half that time he was in solitary confinement. I don't know if he still is. Oh, man's life was destroyed. If you look into the background, he was a fixer in the Republican Party when it came to the election and rounding up electoral votes. He was powerful in what he did. He was powerful and key in getting Trump elected. But if you look at the charges, yeah, he may have done something criminal when it came to like his personal dealings with his money, but it had no attachment to, the charges or to Russian collusion, which was a saturation, topic in the news media throughout that whole time. Like I said, you would really think, and it slowed down his presidency in the very beginning. You look at all the betrayal, like all the Republicans that turned in between the investigations and the report came out with no collusion. $20 million of taxpayers' money, and like I said, President Trump, they were kind of looking for like some kind of bait to get President Trump to be part of this investigation. When he fired James Comey, that kind of started, that set it off. And when he fired James Comey, it prolonged it even further, this report. But they needed that. They needed that continuous narrative going on about as an attempt to remove this president from office. You know, it was a surprise that he got there. And they've been fighting this guy since then. They got him out of office in 2020, but they know that his influence and his power is still there in the background. He's giving rallies pretty soon. Here come the rallies. It's going to be a hot summer for sure. And it's all going to coincide and counteract again with these investigations. So which side can have the most powerful narrative in their charges? Because it's all about the public PR. They know there's not going to be no real charges come about. They're too high up. They're all Teflons. They all get away. Look at James Comey and his whole crew. The top echelon of FBI, Hillary Clinton, the whole Obama administration, the Susan Rices. You know? So, you know, you have these reports. You have like the Durham investigation. You have the Durham report. You know, you have the Mueller report. You have all these reports and all these investigations, but nothing really comes. You have these commissions. I mean, this morning, they want to do a commission on the Capitol riots. You see, it's not about charging anybody. It's about keeping the topic in your face. So now we got a commission coming. Republicans don't really want one. Democrats definitely want it, but they're phrasing it in the media. The Democrats, which are good at what they do, you know, that the Republicans don't want to, or Republicans support terrorism or support a riot. That's the inclination they're giving out, you know. So that, you know, it's politics, and I just think that, you know, as society, we're getting tired of it. We're getting tired of a group of lawyers in power in office in D.C., you know, just playing with us. One hand in the other person's pocket. We're not producing anything. We need a new leadership. We need a Congress with a mixture of teachers and doctors and construction workers. A good mix of society. To have some fucking common sense along with themselves when they get out the airport. When they want to change the country. Have some fucking common sense. Don't be like a fucking AOC or Joe Biden. You can be an old asshole too. We're tired of it. We want new leadership. We want term limits. You know? We want people to just speak truth to power and be honest with us. You know? If anything, just to clear the headache, or at least, you know, like I said, for our kids' future, that's a cliche, but it's the truth. You can't walk into a bad society ran by a poor government who does not listen to you, does not take your voice into account. That's why we put you in office. This process needs to work. The process is designed to work in that manner. We got to seal up the cracks. In these investigations, like I said, one leads to another, but nothing comes about. No one really gets charged. I mean, who really has been charged? Who's really been hung? I mean, Malik, would you want to see a hanging? By any chance, anytime? Like, I mean, if you knew, okay, this politician right here, he sold nuclear codes and intel to this Chinese. We have red-handed. These motherfuckers on video. You know, and the charge for treason is by hanging. Death by hanging. Would you want to see that live on CBS, like Channel 8?
Live, no. Maybe later, like on the internet, maybe.
Okay, so you want to hear about it after it's done, but you would support, like, okay, man, the motherfucker tried to betray the country. You need to go ahead and we need to implement the laws on the books.
Yeah.
Or would you be like, nah, let's let them pass. Let's let it go.
It matters how I'm feeling that day, to be honest.
Yeah, see, that's what I think it is. I think that's what the whole system is about, depending how motherfuckers feel. I guess that's why we got judges, right? Judges empower judges. So, I mean, I just think that sometimes I just really feel sometimes you gotta have that no nonsense rule that you don't back down from. That belt on the wall. That when the kids see that belt in the kitchen wall, I'm not fucking up today. That's a reminder. You know, so yeah, you hang that motherfucker, but I guess you do like a time delay, and you can like parental permission to watch it on YouTube. But I think you gotta let that shit happen. I think you do. I mean, they showed us Saddam Hussein get hung. You weren't born when that happened, were you? Did you know that?
His name sounds familiar. What year was it?
Oh man, Saddam Hussein, the former president of Iraq. Okay, well, back in the day, George Bush Sr., because there was two Bushes that were president. George Bush Sr., the dad, invaded Iraq, for oil and under the false claims of nuclear weapons, which is what we do. And they finally caught his ass, man, and they hung him. They hung him, and it was on TV. It was on,
For real?
Yeah, it was on. Man, I don't know if it was on. It was on definitely on the internet. It was definitely on YouTube. I watched it. You know what I'm saying? It was. I mean, for real. I think even like CBS, like Channel 8 News, they showed it, but they stopped. You know, they showed up to a certain point. And I was like, damn, you know, you put the hanging. I bet you could hang in a hit video. I bet they'll show it. But yeah, man, he had like two sons that were like, you know, and you know, as reported to us, tyrannical, Uday and Kusei. I mean, they had all kind of like stories about these guys, about how they killed people and with certain things they did to torture people in their country. You know, which gave us the storyline to, you know, go and invade the country.
Is he the one that was in the hole?
Yeah, he was in the hole. They found him in the hole, you know, kind of like hiding out. Yeah, for sure. But I think he was just another CIA operative, a little puppet. You know, he was designed to be a deterrent to Iran in our constant battle to tame that country. Like I said, I mean, like there's so much to talk about in politics, man. There's so many stories. It's like a big movie, man. You know what I'm saying? Like these, if you're able to watch it and catch on, and you've been watching since like I was a kid, pretty much a historian of all this stuff. The Saddam Hussein stuff, it all leads to this point in time in the future, to our current time. Donald Trump was a staunch opponent of the invasion of Iraq. You know, he didn't believe shit what they were telling us in the media back in that time. He knew that we were lying about mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction in there. You know, and we didn't find nothing. But to this day, we're still in Iraq to this day. But why? The resources. It's monopoly. The oil. Why are we in Afghanistan? The resources. Poppy fields, drugs, heroin. Yeah, if you know, if you really can't pronounce heroin, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. So I just say heron. You know, just heron. You know, we were talking about hanging, and how yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, hanging. I think we should. You know, I'm not. You know, the death penalty. I'm not for playing judge. Shit, man. I don't know, man. It depends on what you do. It really does. Like you mess with kids, man. I think if you mess with kids instantly, it should be like instant. Like, all right, next week, you out of here. You know what I'm saying? That will stop that shit. Them so-called mental illness motherfuckers would tighten up. Oh shit, with a remote. Be focused like a motherfucker. You know, certain things you make no nonsense. You betray the country, you gotta go. It could be subtle. Just throw you out in the middle of put you in a big ass boat, about 15 of y'all, and let the motherfucker boat sink. It's real simple shit. Why we gotta fucking? Why is killing a motherfucker cost millions of dollars? We ain't got an old boat, an old rig. We can't put like 10 motherfuckers on there or 100 motherfuckers on like they do in India and let it capsize. Wouldn't that be easier? And like a bed of sharks? Bet your motherfucker would tighten up and stop that bullshit. How do we get politicians to shut the fuck up and do what's right? I don't know yet. Maybe get like a moon door. Like Game of Thrones. You know about Game of Thrones and the moon door?
No, sir. I know why it does, though.
Well, why you? Well, he's not on the mic. But you know about the moon door, right? Game of Thrones. Yeah, see what I'm saying? we need to elevate the halls of Congress into some big ass mountain, change the location, and get a moon door, which is an open space on the ground that if you fuck up, you fall down and you go down. Just I don't know, you just fucking fall off the sky. It's like really high up in the sky, and you die to fall to your death. You know. I think politicians need a moon door. Need a moon door. That's a threat. So when you have to give them speeches on the House floor, that moon door is right in your face. And you can have like a percentage. You can have like a live thing. Like if the people are like, oh, he's bullshitting, he's lying, and like that percentage keeps fluctuating, you might just fall down that motherfucking door. I bet you campaign differently as a result. You must win this, y'all. Live. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Hit that like, subscribe button. We're growing as a show. What we want to do is we want to hold politicians accountable. We want to dig into these issues. We want to make sure that our Constitution is intact and make sure we're informed when we come to vote. I create this show to be another voice. Hit that like, subscribe button. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Website's coming soon. I promise you it's coming soon. I'm working on it, damn it. You know, a new word these kids are using nowadays, a new word they're using is bandwidth. I ain't got enough bandwidth. Let me get that bandwidth going, and you'll start seeing better shit, better content. But if you start where you can't donate because I ain't got the donation page. But look, I'm working on it, damn it. My bandwidth is increasing. So like I said, you know, I think we did this is like the second show in a row we kind of started at 10:15. Now see, my book, that's early, that's on time in my book. So when I get to 10 o'clock to 11, like I'm supposed to be, then we may see some real enhancements come about. So just bear with me, my witnesses. We'll get there soon enough. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, downtown, 120 East Market Street. Wave One Media, come down and get you a show. Emo's the Witness, the Phil Show. See what the fuck I look like. As Friday, as we come down, look, on Friday now, Friday gonna be a little different. Like Freestyle Friday, when I bring another element to it, I'm bringing my longtime friend, you know, Larry Sugar. That's the motherfucking stage name, is Larry Sugar. And he's going to be on here to talk about sports. And, you know, we're on the eve of the playoffs and the play-in games in NBA. A lot of good betting going on. So we're talking from a sports betting angle and talk about the cast and characters and the stars and the matchups. But, you know, I just don't know about calling this motherfucker Larry Sugar. You know, I've been trying to work with him. Like I said, I've known this guy since we were like in kindergarten. So we talk like brothers. We talk a lot of shit. You know, we talk natural to each other. So it should be a good chemistry, you know, hopefully. We have opposing views almost all the time. We're each other's devil's advocate. But at the same time, you know, we do agree a lot. We do agree a lot on sports, and we do have a lot of good content to give you from that standpoint. But call this motherfucker Sugar, though. I don't like say, hey Sugar, what do you think about LeBron? See, I don't know how to start that shit off. You know what I'm saying? L Sugar, Larry. I might call him Larry. You know, but I call him a grown man Sugar. I mean, Willie, come on, man. Would you? Like say you go into a barbershop, you supposed to meet your friend there. What's up, man? Is Sugar here?
I think you got to be a world-renowned athlete to have a name like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of some bold shit. I mean, unless you just, you know what I'm saying? You like Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? What I was thinking of. Yeah, you know, like, hey Sugar, you know what I'm saying? Come here, man. You want to play some? You know, do that 1-2 step for me, Sugar. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, just like an ordinary Joe. It's like, hey, Sugar, you want some McDonald's, man? I'm about to go. It just don't sound right. So we on the show on Friday, and we on the show, if we do this, if it works out, we do it every Friday, that shit's going to have to change. And, you know, it's going to come to a head on Friday, I guess. I'm going to work on this, though, next couple of days. I'm going to figure out something. I might call him L-Dog. I don't know. Suge. No, I ain't calling him motherfucking Suge. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He's going to change that shit. I don't know. I won't even fucking say his name. How about that? That's what I'll do. I'm thinking about the Emo's Witness show. Freestyle Friday, y'all come and check it out. See how that transpires. I want you to have a great midweek. Get through this hump day. You know. Don't let that those Wall Street numbers scare you. Wall Street's going crazy this morning. A lot of, you know, dropping. What's up, Biden? But let me get off this motherfucking mic, man. I'll see y'all on Friday. Emo's Witness. Have a good day, and I'm out.